Well, good morning, everybody. It is officially time to start our Saturday Zoom property tour, guys. This is a national property tour. We share this with all of our community and their guests, as we are a national community of investors who collaborate. We work together. We do deals together. We learn together. And today we're bringing Anna and Roy out to you guys. They've been featured before over the last few years, but this is a new strategy for them. Very exciting. Something that I know you guys are going to love listening to all about this property and about this strategy and how they found the property. My name is Scott Buckholtz. I am your host for the property tour. We also have Yas Hakan, our co-host. We do these every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern, where we get to feature an investor or a team of investors from our community. And we just love sharing our team's deals. We love sharing what they're doing, the strategies they're doing, and we love introducing them to the community. And we'll get to do that here in just a second with Roy and Anna. A little housekeeping this morning, if we could, please keep your phones on mute or your laptops on mute. That really helps with the background noise. We're still expecting quite a few people to log on this morning. So we do appreciate that very much. And I'll go ahead and throw out first thing this morning, and then I'll mention again later on for those who jump on late. If you guys are on today as a guest, someone's invited you out to check out our community, check out our property tour, kind of what we're doing. You guys have you're in store for a great property tour, first of all. But second of all, right after these property tours, and starting at right about 5 minutes after the top of the hour, we do a live introduction to our community, and we really get into the depth of who we are, what we do, how we work together, how we collaborate, how we learn to use other people's money, how we learn how to do investing in real estate without using our own credit, our own money, and basically how we learn together and how important knowledge and real estate are. So if you guys like what you hear today and you want to jump on to that right after this, reach out to who invited you today. They can send you a separate link that allow you to jump on that. It'll be well worth your time. So guys, let's go ahead and get started if we would. Anna, Roy, can you guys come on out?
Hi.
Hi, everyone.
There you guys.
Good morning.
Woohoo!
Good morning.
Awesome. So glad to see you guys.
Great to see you, Scott.
Hi, great
Yeah,
to
you're all bundled up, and you got the
Yeah.
stocking caps
know.
on, and
It's Minnesota.
So, Minnesota. Now, the lake that you're on, how far up for folks in Minnesota is that from the southern border?
So this is 3 hours from the Twin Cities. So southern border is probably another 4 hours. So 4 hours from the border with Iowa, right? I don't know. But
Yeah.
3
So
hours.
you
from the
guys
Twin
are about 7 hours north of the border.
Oh, from the northern border, probably
No,
one hour and a half.
Which
The
one?
hour and a half. So you're
Mhm.
way up there in Minnesota. Okay, so when you say it's cold there, you say it's like 10 degrees today,
It
correct?
feels like 13 degrees right now. Outside.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's not as cold as it looks like. We're just getting accustomed to, instead of doing my hair, throw on the hat.
Oh, that's awesome. It's awesome. Well, we've got about a half inch or so of snow here, and it's still snowing in Cincinnati, northern Kentucky. I know you guys have an inch or so of snow there so far, but I know that Anna was telling me before we started you were supposed to get like 7, so you're glad you only got an
Yep.
inch. So, well, that's great, guys. So we're so excited. We're so humble and so thankful that you guys have taken an hour out of your day. And I know it's more than an hour because you guys are at the facility. So, you're taking a chunk of your day out to share with us this property, the resort, the acquisition, everything like that. We got a lot of people excited. They've been hearing about this for a few months, and they're really excited to see it and see what's going on. And obviously, you guys are making things happen. But there's going to be a lot of people on today that have never met you guys. Maybe they've heard of your name. Maybe they've never heard of your name, but they're new to the community, and maybe they're a guest today. Maybe, we probably have a lot of guests on today. So let's kind of like start off and introduce everybody who Roy and Anna are. Like before you found real estate, what were you guys doing in your life? And then how you found real estate, and then why real estate? Because that's always a big thing, because sometimes people are going, what is this real estate investing all about? I mean, I hear about it. It's been a buzz for years. I've seen the reality shows on TV that make it look all glamorous. And so what is this all about? And then why you decided to get involved in our community. And thank goodness you guys are a part of our team. I'm so grateful for that. So, who wants to start off? Anna, Roy?
Ladies first.
Well, about 3.5 years ago, we were actually invited to a property tour in person here in Minneapolis, but we were invited to come take photos. Roy owned a photo and film company, and I helped on the side. And it was that time, that we really decided we need to do this. We need to get on the other side of the camera. Roy had always wanted to get into real estate, and I'll let him share why. But I, for the past 20 years, have been a professor at the University of Minnesota. I run a large team of surgeons and dentists helping kids born with facial differences. So our main problem was that we both had a vision of having the freedom of time to travel and to help communities in developing countries. But the reality was, we were living in an apartment. We couldn't figure out how to buy our first home. As a professor, I've gone to years and years of schooling to get my doctorate degree. But what they don't tell you is you'll never be poor, but you'll never be rich. And honestly, we weren't looking to make tons of money, just enough to secure our retirement and to be able to use our talents and gifts in this world.
Yeah, well said. So yeah, my name is Roy. I'm originally from Uganda, which is my mother. She was doing interior design, and that's where I got, that awakening of, wait a minute, I could be the one owning these houses that my mother is fixing up. I saw the value of owning real estate to build a legacy and to build wealth. So that's where my journey started, really working in the trades, essentially helping my mother with her interior design business. Fast forward to 2012 when I moved here. I was a journalist in Africa, so that didn't really convert because it's a whole different culture. And so I started re-exploring this real estate investing. I went to a bunch of seminars. I bought some CDs from some company. I didn't get much support with it. I didn't get much mentorship or community with it. So when we found this community, that I just knew that this is where we needed to be able to succeed because of all the support that comes with the education.
I absolutely agree with you, because I felt the same way, and it's everything you guys have talked about, it's really helped me as well. So you guys decided to get involved with our community. You saw the support, you saw the mentorship, and you guys jumped in, and I know maybe the beginning, everybody's progress and everybody's steps, their journey, let's call it their journey. Everybody's journey is different.
True.
And so I know you guys, you just seemed like over the last 6 to 12 months, you guys have done a ton of things. And you picked up so much momentum, and you're just, it's just amazing. So a little bit before this acquisition and finding this deal, what had you guys done? Had you done some, I know this, but let's share this with the group here. Had you done some flips? Had you done some long-term rentals, short-term rentals?
So we started out actually just helping someone in the community. who was doing lots of fix and flips. So as we were taking our classes, we were getting some hands-on experience and learning what to do, what not to do, and then decided to start flipping on our own. And that was cool. It was shortly after one of those flips that our business, so Roy and I own our business, we took a little retreat and stepped back and really like, okay, where do we want to be in 5 years and 10 years? So that we could get a little more strategic about what projects we were taking on. And so because freedom of our time is so important to us, we've realized like we have to start figuring out how to hold properties. And then how do we, I love designing. We love creating a great experience for people. So that led us down the path of starting short-term rentals. We have a rental that we're helping a family buy it basically from us with a lease option. And then on our 20-year plan or dream was owning a lakefront property. And so we just started knocking, how do we make our 5-year plan happen? And we actually made that happen in about a year. And so it's really just been okay going at what others may perceive as a slower pace. But as we're going slower, we just consumed mentorship and getting knowledgeable. And before we knew it, like once we got the train going, it goes faster and faster.
Yeah. I'm one of those who went during a planning retreat, which thank God for tax and legal, Mark Kohler, what he shared about getting your 5-year, 1-year, 5-year, 10-year plan. We literally just copied the template that he gave us. And so we thought, you know what, we want to accumulate a bunch of rentals. So we need to have, let's just say, a couple of rentals this year. And that is following the traditional model. But then with one of the classes that teaches short-term rentals, we were able to multiply our revenue by just, instead of just buying traditional rentals, converting our properties into short-term rentals. So that actually is getting us even closer to our goals in a shorter period of time. So yeah, that's just the knowledge that has been very mind-blowing.
And that's really what started. So we have this resort now. We partnered up with one other couple, and they were watching us this whole time. And they started getting really impressed with our ability of like rehabbing properties, but also creating a great experience for guests. So that experience really wowed them and intrigued them to partner up with us.
Oh, that is awesome. That is awesome, guys. So let's talk a little bit about how this strategy and how this acquisition kind of came together. I mean, it's not every day that you stumble into, or somebody comes finds you like, hey, I got a resort. Would you want to buy it? So can you talk a little bit about how this all came together and how you found the property, how you acquired it, things like that? And I know we'll get to the numbers here toward the end because we've got a lot to get through here and we don't want to waste a lot of time. I get it, but I think it's really important for people to find out, because people might be sitting back and go, that's unbelievable. Like, I could never put a resort under contract, or I could never do this level. And again, I think it's very important to explain to folks how this all came together. So Anna or Roy, if you guys want to talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're feeling like, oh, I couldn't do that, or like, I can relate to that, right? Like 99% of us, I think, or 100% have those voices in our head saying, I can't do that. And so really it's been the community and just self-development of like, no, we can. The question is, what do we want to do? So like I said, we made a vision board, and on that was owning a lakefront kind of dream house, a glamping resort. And when we put that out there, we attracted our partners. So we we have scaled our real estate investing business by learning how to raise private capital. So people who have money in their retirement account that want a more consistent or better return than CDs or stock market, right? They lend us. There are lenders on our properties. Well, some of our lenders became our partners on this deal. So that was the first step, actually. We found our partners, and then we started together, what do we want to build?
Yeah. And I also speak to the fact that we meet a lot of people that are terrified by the thought of using other people's money. It all comes down to knowledge. If you don't know how to protect your partners or your lenders, then yeah, you better be terrified. But that is where the knowledge comes in, and where okay, this is what I need to do to be compliant, but also to protect my lenders. So that is really where knowledge has set us free, in that sense that we're not terrified. We just do the numbers, make sure the project is solid, run all the numbers and make sure that it's presentable and it makes sense. So yeah, that's how we've been able to get here.
Yeah. So it was this spring we really started looking at properties. They're not in Minnesota, so we did primarily the looking. We looked off market and on the MLS. A part of, we have a software system through the community. And so we set up searches using that software, looking for in a certain area. We were able to search by, who has 20 acres and who has delinquent taxes. So we just set up a lot of different searches. We have realtors that we have on our team. We put them to work, but then we also just started searching the MLS ourselves, because resorts up here just fly off the shelf if they're in decent shape. So we had another resort under contract that was going to be seller financed. And we were super excited about that. That's something we've learned about and negotiated. But through our in that inspection period, we just didn't get good vibes from the seller. He started taking some of the land back and all these, and we're the type of people, we do business with integrity. And if you break that, we don't need to do business together. There's plenty of business and money in this world. And so we walked away, and on the same day we started looking in this area. And so we found this off the MLS. One of our negotiating things is we typically are okay just representing ourselves instead of having an agent. And that's attractive to a lot of sellers, because sometimes that agent will reduce their commissions that the seller has to pay. So we were able to get a decent discount on the property.
Yeah.
That's awesome, guys. Well, Anna, do you want to go ahead and pull up the video to kind of get people started, get everybody excited about what they're about to see over the next 30, 40 minutes?
Absolutely. I'm going to pull that up.
And Roy and Anna are both on site, so they're going to actually take us through a couple cabins in here in a second as well. You're back.
We're back.
Wow, that was a really cool video. That was really neat to get kind of a high profile view of the whole property, the sitting right on a point, and
Yeah.
then the docks, the piers there for boats and all of that. And so, you know, you guys, this acquisition was intentional. You had another resort under contract. This was part of your business plan. It didn't come together, but then because you guys made a good business decision in your mind to step away, another opportunity opened up the doors. And
Yeah.
and obviously we are where we're at. We're gonna get to show everybody here in a second. Roy's gonna actually take us to one of the cabins, I believe, that has not been renovated yet or rehabbed. And when I say renovated or rehab, basically just because you guys are not doing any major renovation, it's all a refresh, correct?
Yeah, all refresh. So we are, putting new showers in, new flooring, and then basically paint. All the cabins were in good condition. We looked at several that were very, very unlevel. So everything's in great condition. A little bit about what we really wanted. We wanted to be on a spring-fed lake. And so, we aren't just running a business, but we're buying real estate, right? They're not making more land. And so we wanted to own a nice chunk of land. And part of that was we wanted easy access to water for future generations in our family. So parts of the lake are over 150 feet deep. It's spring fed. And so that excites us. In the summer when the light hits it, it just looks like the Caribbean. It's so clean, second cleanest in the state.
Oh my gosh, that's
Oh,
road trip time, right? Road trip time. So
yeah. Roy, I'll pin your video
Okay.
or spotlight it so that, and I'll
Perfect.
turn off. So there are 9 cabins along here. Unpin my video. There we go. Okay, so they're all shoreline access. We bought this. The previous owner was a farmer, retired farmer from South Dakota, and he was his son no longer wanted to run the resort. Unfortunately, his son even passed up the opportunity to have it seller financed from his dad. But our win, Roy, do you want to go into cabin 6?
I'll go for it.
Here we go. And so the current rates were between $1,200 to $1,500 a night. And by running comparables in the area, this is a heavy tourist area near Walker, Minnesota. We knew if we did some nice updates that these can be renting for over $2,000 for the week. I don't know if I said night or week before, but so our goal is to rent these for over $2,000 a week, which is a normal rate for renovated cabins on a lake in Minnesota. So you can see that all of the cabins have just nice access and views.
So this particular cabin, you guys have not started on the inside yet.
No. Roy, anything you want to explain as you walk through here?
Yeah, so of course we're storing some of our furniture in here. Most of this furniture is going to be donated. We have already donated 5 cabins worth of furniture to the Habitat for Humanity, which is, I would encourage investors in our community to, that's something to think about instead of filling up, dumpsters and stuff. That is an option. You have to donate it to charity. So yeah, that's what we decided to do. And so we're very happy about that.
whatever they won't take, obviously, we'll figure out a way to either sell it or dump it, but at least give a chance to the charity. So like you said, we mentioned, this hasn't been touched. We've had friends come over, family. Bathrooms, like Anna said, they're in great condition, but then you also want to make sure they go for many more years. So one of the things we noticed was the showers. As you can see, they're usable. They could go for a few more years, but we're thinking, what if we updated the showers? So as you will notice with the cabins that we have done remodels in, you will notice we've changed out showers and the flooring in the bathrooms and all that, just so that we give them longevity, we give them much longer, usage. We get more longer usage out of them. And like Anna mentioned, some of the results we looked at, just because they hadn't fallen over, then they weren't in good condition, but the owners didn't want to do any work to update them. So that's something you want to do as an investor. You want to keep things in good condition. You don't have to let your properties fall over before you fix them up. So that is the opportunity we get when we come in. We want to fix up things and make sure it holds up. And that also relieves us of the pains of having to fix up things when it's in the middle of a busy traffic season, which is summers here. So I'm going to take you guys to the other cabins that we have been able to do some rehab with in. So this is cabin 6. Cabin 6, 7, 8, and 9 haven't really been touched. So we'll head over to cabin 5. We'll only be able, in the interest of time, we'll only be able to look at 3 cabins. So 1 that hasn't been remodeled and 2 that have been remodeled. And then I'll take you guys to the main house, because this came with a 3,000 square foot main house, as you might have seen in the video. So you'll get to see that as well. So this is cabin 5. We've been able to do most of the work with this cabin. A little bit more work to be done with the bathroom, but yeah, you can see we installed new pine flooring. Actually, the installer of the pine flooring is one of our students. So that's the other cool thing. We get to share opportunities with our community members that can do some stuff. So it's really cool that it's essentially an ecosystem, So countertops, you can see new countertops in the kitchen, new sink. Then yeah, new paneling. That is new paneling right there. Same thing, so new flooring pretty much all the way through the living area. This is custom built furniture. As you can see, one of our partners was able to build this.
Yeah, we intentionally made couches out of mattresses. So it increases the sleeping capacity. So right now, all but one of the cabins we're going to rent there are 3 bedrooms. So we'll be able to sleep up to 8 people in each cabin by adding those couches that are beds. Here's the bathroom. We did waterproof vinyl flooring and then all new plumbing in the showers. There's actually quite a few leaks in those showers. So we redid the plumbing, and then we'll be installing tile over the winter months.
So we had to refurnish, of course you have to take out the furniture when you so that's why the bedrooms, we haven't really set up the beds yet, because the priority was to get this done before the winter kicked in. As you can notice, we get winter earlier than everyone else. So time is of the essence with this project, because these cabins are not 4 season. So we wanted to make sure that we do the bulk of the work. And we've only owned this property for 2 months, right? Just about 2 months. And so we really needed to get in, get as much work done. And then come spring, we're going to be doing the rest of the cabins. We're going to do some of the work with the main house over the winter. So yeah, you got to prioritize depending on your situations. In our case, the cabins needed to be done before winter. Okay.
So we'll do the other cabins this spring. And again, just new flooring, new carpet, counters, paint. So pretty simple stuff. But it will allow us to increase rates. Our target customer, you always want to know your target customers. It's families who want a good old nostalgic family vacation. So this is one of the 2 bedrooms. So again, just new flooring, paint, and new rugs and furniture. Pretty simple stuff.
Same thing, bathrooms. Give you a different view of the kitchen. So show you some of the details with the bathroom. And it's still a work in progress, just a few more finishing touches. Yeah, bedrooms are pretty much carpeted, and the designers, Anna is obviously, she does the design as well as our other partner. So yeah, we decided to go with paneling just to add some interest. Anna can talk more to that. I know the traditional cabins will all be wood everywhere, but then Anna could explain how she arrived at that whole idea of adding some interest to these cabins. So like you see, we were able to paint that fireplace, add interest again. So it's really interest, function, you know, and of
Yeah,
course,
I mean,
for longevity.
I'm a big believer that paint is one of the best ways to update properties. And it's a big bang for your buck. Painting and lighting goes a really long ways. Would you agree, Scott?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
That's
one of the bonus features we have here is a gas pump. This is the only gas pump on the lake. So that's another opportunity to make some money. You know, we provide a service to the lake and get paid for it. So, and also we have the best ramp on the whole lake. Very deep. The place to launch the boats is really, really good. Incredible ramp that we have going on. So I'm gonna take us to the main house in the interest of time, so you guys can see what that is like, and then I'll hand it on back to Anna. So you might be wondering why we have this barrier here. This is snowmobile country, and we have a concern about if we have a lot of traffic with snowmobiles, then they're gonna definitely compact the snow, and that's gonna affect the utilities. So that's why we put these barriers, and we're gonna put out signs so that we don't have too much traffic. We want to have utilities insulated, particularly the water lines. So yeah, those are all the things we're learning about resort ownership.
Yeah, we have a lot to learn, but the previous owner told us one year they let the snow get too compacted down, and it was hard to get the water lines thawed in time to open for fishing openers. So yeah, so this is the house. So we are actually going to this house will be rented out in the summer, and then Roy and I are going to live in one of the cabins in the summer. We have a lot of extra furniture in here, but you can see we've already, it was dark maroon. We painted it. We're going to do new flooring. And then there's a bedroom down here that will take you into. This bedroom is going to be a couple bunk beds. So we're anticipating we can probably sleep about, 4 people in this bedroom, and then do a sofa bed in the living room. And then it's a full bathroom down here. So there's a total of two bathrooms in the house, and then there are 1, 2, 3, 4 bedrooms. And so one thing with our experience with short-term rentals, the big question is how many people do you sleep? And my answer is always you want to sleep as many as you can, but you also want to have enough bathrooms for everyone. You want to have, enough dining room space for everyone, enough place to seating is right. So you just have to be aware of that so that your guests have a good experience. We're doing all new pine flooring on this main level. And then this fireplace, although it looks cool, it's actually, the stone is quite cheap. It's like fake stone. And the mortaring job was just really poor. So we actually, cool story, we bought some furniture off Facebook from someone, and then we ran into him in the hardware store the other day, and I started talking to him about real estate investing, and it turns out he's actually a member of this community. And so really cool. We're going to actually start meeting up here, but he's going to come over. He's a contractor. He's going to do the fireplace for us this week. This is the master bedroom. So it's a small world. So. And then this is the master bedroom that has its own private bathroom. This bathroom, we're gonna redo the shower. We're gonna put some nicer tile in here, new countertop, new mirror. So we want this bathroom to feel a little more luxurious. Our target is to rent this out for $5,000 a week. That's kind of the going rate for a house this size on the lake up here. Here's another bedroom. Go ahead, Roy. I'll let you.
No, just carry on. You know better about the plans and all that.
So this is a bedroom. We're gonna put king size beds in all of these. We'll redo that wallpaper. And then attached to this bedroom is access to a handicap accessible bathroom, and then its own washer and dryer.
I'll take this. So that's what it looks like.
We're not going to touch flooring or anything in here. Just paint it, right? You really don't want to overdo things, but you don't want to underdo things whenever you're improving a property. So, and then through here, there's an office. We're going to turn this back into a bedroom. This will fit another king size bed. So we'll either do a king size bed or 2 full size beds. So our target is to sleep, from between 15 and 20 people. We have to figure out how much the septic system can handle. So Roy and I, this is going to be our home. But like I said, in the summer, we're going to move down by the lake in one of the cabins so we can maximize our income. And then we'll still, we love our community meetings. Here in Minnesota, we meet on Tuesday nights. So we're going to commute back and forth for that. Just attending the community meetings locally and online has helped our growth so much.
And then
I know there's been a couple comments in here about, hey, we need to have some community retreats.
Exactly. So that's one thing. Roy and I are really dreaming of other businesses that we can add. And so we're actually talking about starting a retreat business because the resort itself will only run from May to October. And so there's, how many more months of the year, about 7 to 8 to run other businesses. So corporate retreats and then real estate investing retreats for our community. So I think kids are going to love this loft. My favorite part of this loft is, Roy, if you turn the camera, you get a magnificent view of probably hard to tell on here, but in person, it's just an awesome view of the lake and the trees and so.
I know here in a couple minutes, as we approach almost a quarter till the hour, you're going to go
Yeah.
through some numbers here and some projections and things like that. And then, so you guys came up with a budget in the beginning, and have you had to, there's a question about some things from, let's see, it says, it looks like you're paying for some things as you go. Have you had some unforeseen costs come up, and how have you budgeted for all of that? That would be great to talk about that.
Yeah.
A lot of compliments. Love the paneling. Love the area. A lot of people want to move to Minnesota now. It's funny when people say that, right? When people say, I moved, but they, to live in Minnesota, you really got to be a Minnesotan. I mean, you gotta, the weather and what goes on is just, not a lot of people can adjust to that, I don't think.
It's doable. I can
Um,
tropics, and here I am.
The tropics. Well, so part of what we were looking for is a business, right? That we run this for four months out of the year. And then Roy and I, we want to travel this world, right? We, his family's in Uganda, with his family, we've started a preschool, growing a school there. So our goal is to have the freedom to travel outside of Minnesota in the winter. So you're all welcome to come up here in the winter. We'll be traveling.
So let's talk a little bit about how you guys got it. I saw a question a little bit ago. It said, why was the seller wanting to sell it? You kind of went through that. That was there's a gentleman that owned it from South Dakota, and he no longer wanted to run it. And it sounded like his son didn't want to run it either. So it was an opportunity that came available through, and you found this on the MLS for folks who jumped on late. Is that correct?
Correct. So we found it on the MLS. I think, we found it the same day it popped on the MLS, and we tried to make an offer and get it under contract before we saw it, but they really wanted us to come up and see it. And so Roy will show the lodge here, but as he does that, I'll just explain. So, right, we have the owner's house, the cabins, and then this lodge, and then there's another 5 acres. The 5 acres are already have the water, septic, and electricity, and it's been approved by the city for 3 RV lots. And so we will develop that land eventually.
Very
So
nice.
found it on the MLS, put it under contract really fast, and from, negotiated the price down. We negotiated about 50,000 off the asking price. It also came with 4 boats, fishing boats, and a pontoon. Yeah, so our plan is also here in the lodge. This lodge, we're creating 2-bedroom spaces, and it'll be a short-term rental year-round. If you want to show the lodge. Or I can do it fast. You guys saw it in the video, but it's basically, I don't know how many square feet. What do you think, Brian? About 1,500 maybe, about 1,500. So there's a full kitchen. And then the previous owners were using this room as storage, but we're converting it to a bedroom. And then there's a full bathroom with a shower, and then more space over here. They were using that as an office. We'll convert that to a bedroom. So in the winter, this will sleep probably 6 to 8 guests. So just another way to maximize our income. I love, Scott, you've taken the short-term rental classes, but we really learn how to make that a more passive investing strategy. So how to build a team of cleaners, how to build, a team. So we can, be in Uganda and be running our short-term rental business. So I know we're almost out of time, so I want to go over the numbers quick and answer any questions. So we acquired the property for 1.6, inputting $200,000 into renovations and just business startup costs, a brand new website, adding kayaks and paddle boards and things like that. And then, so if we think about our mortgage, right, we have partners who brought half the money, and then together we raised the other half of the money, and we wrapped those rehab costs into the private money loan. And so we have a 30-year private loan, right? So when we say private, it's just a relationship we have that we've built. We're not using banks. And that's at 5.5% for 30 years. So super powerful, and the lenders are super happy. They were making, they had their money in CDs. And so if you take the mortgage costs plus the expenses, right? You have to have super good insurance running a commercial, having a commercial project or property, but then just like a business, you need really good insurance. So when you take all our expenses like insurance and utilities, marketing, our expenses for a year are $188,000. Okay. So then our gross revenue, right? So revenue meaning, the cabin rentals, the boat rentals, that's kind of all we've considered for revenue so far. Our total revenue is $292 per year. So you take that $292 minus $188, and we have a projected, right, net profit of $104 per year. Now, when I say per year, I should really say per season, because those are the numbers based on running it from May 15th to October 15th. And we have a deal, it's in our operating agreement, so always put it on paper, but the deal is that Roy and I will manage this, and we will have from that profit, 20% fee on top of the 50-50, right? So we will have about 70% of that profit for being here managing it. Now, if something changes and we don't want to manage it, we can hire it out, right? We can hire a manager. When we're old and don't want to run a resort, we'll have someone manage it. Or guess what? We can sell or finance this to someone and still have paychecks coming in. So our projected profit would be like that 70% of that 104. There's tons of moving parts because there's, we're projecting rates at, $2,000 a week. We're projecting the house renting for $5,000 a week in the summer. But there's also a lot of revenue opportunities that we haven't talked about, right? Like we have it in our operating agreement with our partners that anything Roy and I do in the off season is a bonus for us. They were really just interested in the seasonal resort. So we're excited to, maybe build, merchandise. We can sell merchandise, all that.
Yeah, and we have another 5 acres across the street, which has already been zoned for 3 campers, which we haven't even explored. We haven't even considered those numbers. So there's opportunities to add to this business, which we're excited about. Yeah. We could do glamping up there or whatever it is. So yeah, this is more or less entry level. These are projections right now before we add.
Oh my
So-
gosh, guys, my mind is just like spinning right now, thinking about what you guys have got going on there and all these additional opportunities. And I just can't tell you. I'm like a kid in a toy store right now. I'm like, this is so cool. This is so exciting. You know, so you did say that your lenders on this property were private lenders, correct?
The best class and best skill someone can learn is raising private money in a way that's attractive to the lender and is compliant with the rules and regulations.
Awesome. I'm so glad you talked about that. So you guys now, are you guys actually already living there?
On and off.
No. So we
On and
own
off?
3 houses down in the Twin Cities. So we, when we want to stay down there, we'll just block off one of the short-term rentals in the cities. So, yeah, any other questions?
Well, I'm looking at some questions here. We just talked about the lending. Where do you advertise? Well, so I'm sure you guys you talked about marketing and where are you guys going to be promoting at? And I know you have really some huge ambitions to get, when you're done here, get your property, your lodge, your cabins featured in a magazine, correct?
Yeah, and so whenever you go into a partnership, before you do that, you really need to evaluate what do you need, right? Every deal takes time, money, skills, special skills. Everyone needs to be knowledgeable to be in this business. But one of our partners ran an e-commerce business that was super successful due to learning how to market, essentially not paying for marketing, but she figured out how to borrow audiences. We have a class on that. But it was so successful, they sold the company off to a tech company in the Silicon Valley. So we will be relying on her expertise to figure out how to market this most effectively without spending a lot of money.
Yeah, and also we have a lot of repeat customers. Most people who come here for vacation, we actually got to meet them before we bought the resort. They book right away for the next season. Some of them want the very same week the next year. So we have a lot. I would say probably 70 to 80% repeat customers. So that really saves us. We don't even have to market a crazy amount to get most of our clientele.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. That is fantastic. So when is your projected, when are you going to start taking guests in? What is your goal?
So we will open probably like May 15th around fishing opener out here. We may have the big house, like this lodge or the big house ready to be on Airbnb, VRBO, etc. before. We're pushing, but also, this is a marathon. So not a sprint. So we're taking care of ourselves too.
That's awesome. Well, we're getting close to the top of the hour. Let's take one more question. Repeat customers. Yeah, I just talked about the repeat customers. You guys have a large amount of people in, and I know exactly what Roy just talked about. I mean, we've got some family members that go down to a lake in Kentucky, and they book the same like week or 2 weeks every year. I mean, it's like a standing reservation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a part of their life. They work toward it. It's become part of their family and part of what they do. So that's really neat. So kind of wrapping up here, guys. We talked about repeat customers. Reach out to the state. I am overjoyed. Okay, a lot of congratulations.
Yeah, I just want to really encourage everyone, wherever you are in your journey, to really discover what's your investor ID, right? Like Roy and I knew we wanted land with water access because, our family in Uganda, our family in Colorado, like water's going to be a problem. That's what we wanted. And then we love creating experiences for everyone. So that was a, a big part of it. So figure out your investor ID. What do you want your life to look like? Right? And then get on the path that it requires you. Who do you need to meet? Right? What conversations do you need to be having with people? And just surround yourselves, like everyone in this community. We just want to thank you for how you've pushed us. Your success has encouraged us. So.
Wow, guys, this has been, we just packed about 5 hours or 4 hours worth of information into an hour. And I know we didn't really give you guys justice. There's just so much there. You're early on. I would love to have you guys back out when you're closer to getting ready to open up. Maybe sometime in the springtime would be awesome. And to show this again, unless you guys want to come out in between that, that's great. But there's been so much buzz and excitement about this property tour. And you guys are doing some incredible things. I'm so grateful that you're a part of this community. And I just love your mindsets. I mean, I love how you love, to allow other people in the community to be involved. You talked about a flooring person in the community, you talked about a carpenter helping you build benches, and it's a part of the team, a part of the community. I mean, that's just really neat. It is an ecosystem. Absolutely. And I'm just so excited for you guys, so proud of you guys. And guys, we are at the top of the hour. If you are on as a guest today, and you want to learn more about our community and the education and the knowledge that Roy and Anna have learned, and they've talked about during this property tour, right after this Zoom property tour, in about 5 minutes, we will actually have, they'll be available to you, a Zoom intro where you can learn more about our community and about what we do and how we work together and collaborate, and more things like today. There's more different things you guys can plug into to learn more about our community, but that's at a different link. So get with whoever invited you. They'll get you set up and get you that link. Roy and Anna, man, bless you. Thank you. Stay warm up there. Thanksgiving is right around the corner. I give thanks to you guys for just being here today, being a part of our community, and the fact that I know you guys and I can call you guys friends. So again, thank you for everybody for jumping on. We'll be back next Saturday. Please come back out. It'll be a different strategy, a different part of the country, 11 a.m. Eastern. You can bring a guest, and you guys have a great Veterans Weekend. I do want to say, for all of our veterans that are on today or anyone still currently serving, thank you for your service to our country, and have a great Veterans Weekend, everyone. Bye, Roy. Bye, Anna.
Yes.
Thanks, Scott. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Love you guys. We'll talk to you later.
See you.